Hello. Look, I am very nervous. Thank you for having me. This is a strange situation for me. I've never done stand-up before, and I don't ever want to do it again. I've had a couple of drinks just to get this done, but I want it to be authentic. So, what I'm going to tell you some stories about my best friend back in England. Okay, it's his birthday. He's coming up. He will be 50 years old, which is incredible. And I've known him for 20 years. And you might be thinking, how does that work? If he's 50 and but that's true. You know, he was 30 years old and I was 12. We met on Bebo. He sort of approached me on there and so my dad wasn't around a while, and he helped me. You know, he'd send me pictures of his penis to show me what a real man's penis looks like, I'd have to send him pictures of my bottom and stuff, just to make sure that everything was in working order. It was very good, and he has a weird ball sack. I will say that, but at the time I didn't know any different. Not really, Mine was like a little walnut. But anyway, that's not true. The ball bag is, but the rest is not true. Actually, we met at 20 years ago at Best Western, and I don't know if you've heard of Best Western. One of the mottos is the longer you're there, the less you care. So yes, but we made the most of our time there. One particular highlight at Best Western was the infamous boy band that we started called Best Life, and it's clever because it's Westlife and Best Western, so Best Life, right? Beautiful times. And what we do is we write songs. We write like parodies about stuff at work, right? And they were based on things in the office. So we had this thing called call me backs. This is where Best Western were very smart. And what a call me back is if you would call someone back, right? That's smart, We had a full song written out, but here's a snippet of it. Call me backs, call me backs, call me back so good, right? Right, you know what? Take that. Exactly. Brilliant. And then there was another thing. We had confirmations, right? Now, confirmations were where you confirmed a booking, right? Again, it's smart, The song for that one was Confirmation Time. Come on, right? Genius. And I've just thought of another one we did. Well, I did this one, actually. It was Whip Me Katie One More Time. And I actually did that one at the bathroom at work, by myself, very quickly. Very quickly indeed. And you guys don't know Katie Wilson at the time. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure what she looks like now, but then, she was hot, but now probably not so much. What was the other thing we had? Yes, there was Fax Machine. Fax Machine, right? Now, Fax Machine was based on the song Love Machine. So by the Girls Aloud, right? And one of the part of that song was ink on your hand, I was made in Japan, paper jam, you can see my red light. Right? That's genius. That is genius, right? Like, we're compact, paper stacked. Oh, amazing. And we actually had a Christmas song. Do they know it's Christmas? Do they know it's Best Lifetime? But there was a lyric in that which was, here's to you, raise a glass for everyone. Here's to him, JB's hot, sexy bum. I didn't write that. Darren wrote that lyric. He didn't write it around me either. So proud. Showed me the lyric. And I was like, okay. And it just got me thinking back to the Bebo times when I was 12. We'd come full circle. Maybe that's the wrong phrase to use. But, there was the time when he'd come home from work. We were living together at this point. He'd come home from work. I'm out in the garden with a hot blonde. And he sort of like looks over. We're drinking wine, flirting, laughing, It's going well for me at this point. I am particularly proud of this moment. So he comes in, she's sat with her back to him, and he looks, and I'm just like, I give him a little nod as if to say, I'm well in here, and he wants to try and see your face, so he sort of peers around the corner a little bit. He sees her side boob and recognizes that it's his own mother, right? Yeah, his own mother. Like, I had played that wild. It was a wild prank, wild. But I played it, and he was furious. But I'm just concerned. He didn't see her face. He knew it was his mother from her tits. That's weird, right? That is weird. I pranked him by getting him to basically he applied for a job at Barclays Bank, and he hadn't heard from them in a while, so I wrote a letter from Barclays Bank basically to give him a job, right? So I got like the logo and stuff and made this official letter and all of that stuff. There was a private joke at the bottom, but essentially I offered him this job, and then at the very bottom I told him, whatever, private joke. Anyway, I didn't have time to post it, so I got him to post it whilst he walked past the post office on his way to work. And so it had his name and our address on it, right? And he didn't look, and he just knew I needed to post something. He wasn't nosy. He's the kind of guy he is. He just didn't care. It's like, it's his letter. It's nothing to do with me. But I hadn't put a stamp on it, and I forgot. And he went and bought a stamp, posted the letter to himself at our house the next day, paid first class for a stamp, and it came the next day. He's like, mate, I got the job. Oh my God, what a horrible bastard. Oh, what a horrible bastard I am. And I offered him something like 50 grand a year or something. That had gone up from his 8 grand a year at Best Western. And he was a supervisor as well at that point. Look, I want to quickly discuss the people that I've met through him. Some wonderful, wonderful people. I'm very proud to be friends with. There's Kingy, Crag, Adam, Carl, the Binnells, who I adore. One particular friend who, for 15 years, until I moved away, he kept knocking on my door. He would drag me out the house down to the gym. Once, twice a day sometimes. The guy's a machine. And he's called Abo. And you know why he's called Abo? Because he's got the best abs you'll ever see. Yeah, so what I'd like to do is skip past the practice marriage onto the final part. Okay, present day, where we are today. And how he met Rebecca. I'll keep this as short as I can. Not as short as Rebecca, but I'll keep the story relatively short. It was Christmas Eve. I'm setting the scene. We were in a very depressive state of mind, he and I. We'd just drank all of my divorce vodka, and we were then we went out after listening to Caught in the Middle by A1 on repeat. We bumped into Rebecca and her nephew. Okay, now I thought they were really far away, but they were right next to us because they're like this tall. I'm not even joking. They are like this tall, and so anyway. As it always happened, whenever me and Darren went out, the girl would approach me and ask me for sex generally, and that happened every single time without fail. Yeah, exactly. I'm looking down thinking, it'd be quite handy for certain things, but I'm not too sure. And I was going through it in my head, I needed a wee, and I'm thinking, like it takes me now longer to have a wee than it does to have sex, and so I'm kind of thinking, by the time I finished my thought process, he'd already taken her home. And I was stuck with her nephew. He was gay, but also the same height, looked fairly similar. I'm thinking, I could stick a wig on that and see, it's Christmas, I'm now even more lonely. But these things happen, it worked out for the best, for sure, because I would have used her for like a day or two. And these guys are now married. They're now married, and they've been married for umpteen years, I think, something like that. And I was actually very honoured to be their best man. I think Rebecca just wants to keep me close. I think that's partially true. Also her nephew. They want to keep me in the family, like literally sometimes. And anyway, yeah, I've lost what I was saying. Yes, so look, I was their best man. And I was very, very proud of that. And also, even more proud, actually, and honoured to be the fake godfather to with Brown Sand. That's a private joke. To their beautiful, beautiful daughter, Romania. She just means the world to me. I love her so much. But where's the camera? Oh, there. I wanted to say, Darren, mate, you are a wonderful father, first and foremost, to both of your children. You are seemingly an amazing husband. And from me and others, you are a very, very good friend. And I suppose you're a decent son too. That's what Lynn was telling me that night while she was... Anyway. More than that, you're a brother to me, and I love you so much, and I miss you, and I hope you have the best party ever. Okay?